Prince of Light Todd, transmitting and receiving Channel 4. Love and hugs to all Earthlings residing on planet Earth, Mother Gaia, and transforming Mother Gaia. Greetings to one and all. Let the cosmic energy light flow in. Go with the flow or become the flow. Now, what Prince Todd has got to communicate with you guys out there today is, well, it's all in black and white, and let's face it, we don't sugarcoat anything anymore. And we put the truth out there. Truth, justice, and unity. Peace, love, and light. Now, I'd just like to say and command Group 7. Group 7 activation, permission granted. Godspeed. The Chariot and strength. Godspeed. Okie dokie, just had to do that. That's one thing out of the way. One thing, there's many things to do. Because it's a happening thing, isn't it? A happening thing. Now what I'm going to read, as I said, we don't sugarcoat anything. It's all in black and white, except for the M up there, the M. The rainbow M. M has meaning too. You can look at the Google spirituality of the M. Now this got to me at 19th of November, Wednesday, 2025 at 12:44 p.m. There's your 44s. Now Terahertz and Scalar Tech in hours. By Thursday, 20th of November 2025, deep state arrests escalate. Political figures, including former cabinet ministers or members, arrested in Washington, D.C. under expanded RICO indictments. White hats raid Vatican and Epstein linked tunnels, rescuing children and seizing final Cabal servers. GITMO expansion processes, 250 plus VIP traitors, including bankers and politicians. The White Hats will secure pardons for Patriots like Giuliani and Meadows, positioning them to dismantle remaining regime elements and avert Satanic escalations through BRICS Nations interventions. GISRA frameworks enforce debt forgiveness and wealth redistributed. Triggering the largest transfer of stolen funds back to citizens. So it'll be distributed back to the citizens. On Saturday the 22nd November, the Cabal's fiat currency SWIFT system expires and the RV-GCR launches. The Iraqi dino leads to reveal. Zim at parity. Dong follows. And the BRICS gold integration. Distributed. Distributed amongst the citizens. Should be wearing my glasses. Anyway, we'll get there. And you know what I mean? You'll get the drift. Go with the flow. Expires and launches. Iraqi donor. Tribunals launch processing high-level arrests for COVID-19 fraud and bio-weapon deployment. Because remember, mind control is still happening out there. Mind control. That's why you got to get up on those high frequencies and release yourself from all that bullshit they've done to you. Coordinated tribunals targeting the Adrenochrome, the Adrenochrome. Remember the Adrenochrome? Harvesters within Vatican-linked tunnels. Banking cartel heads transferred to underground facilities, initiating confessions via advanced integration protocols. Tuesday, 25th November 2025. Redemption centres open nationwide. I told you about those redemption centres. Come up to speed, Godspeed. Go through and look at the archives. And as I said, this is a gradual process. If you're linking to it now, go back, because this will be just too much for you now. You got to go back and slowly. It's a slow but fast process. Adrenochrome within Vatican-linked tunnels. Redemption centres open. Notification. Us, the internet group who hold foreign currencies and Zim bombs, will be sent out to set exchange redemption appointments. The military and Starlink satellite system will be protecting exchanges. The military alliance, told you about that alliance, will be processing claims against deep state fraud while blocking elite escape routes and converting seized assets into mid-bed infrastructure. So the seized assets will fund the mid-bed infrastructure. Royal family members, which are those pretenders and imposters, who were detained in secure locations, were expected to disclose centuries-old bloodline secrets. Thursday, 27th of November 2025, Thanksgiving. Restore Republic announcement after White Hats secured economic sovereignty when 8 Democrats defected and ended up shutting down assaults on the quantum financial system. Friday, 28th of November 25, media mongrels already indicted for propaganda crimes would have their perp walks broadcast via decentralised networks. Sunday, 30th November 25, White Hats intend to dismantle the remaining child trafficking enclaves in Ukraine and the LA tunnels. The Putin-Trump Alliance will execute precision strikes on satellite-controlled grids. Late November 25, GITMO expands to overflow facilities in Alaska and Diego Garcia, processing non-stop tribunals for Hollywood and Silicon Valley elites. Justice. Well, this is all about justice, and it's about bloody time. In December 25, the storm peaks with full collapse of the fiat system. Fed goes dark. Gitmo tribunals broadcast via EBS. Executions of deep state leaders confirmed. As I said, some of these have already been executed, and we put clones there. Believe it. Belief. And believe. Starting Monday 1st, December 25. Nezra Gisera activates through Trump's tariff payments, wiping out the national debt and redistributing $2,000 directly to Americans via the QFS. Medbeds become operational in 205 nations. Curing. These are cures. It's going to cure chronic illness derived from COVID-19. Bioweapon variants. Also on Monday the 1st of December 2025, deep state scientists at CERN will be arrested for particle weapon developments that threaten global stability. On Friday, 5th of December 2025, corporate tycoons will be escorted to their military tribunals, unveiling suppressed energy technologies in open court. 10th of December, Wednesday, 2025, BRICS Nations finalise gold-backed currency integration, accelerating global de-dollarisation and enforcing VIP arrests under GITMO law and QFS blockchain security. Deep state traitors funnel into expanded GITMO wings for military tribunals, exposing Adrenochrome and child sex trafficking rings. International NGO leaders face extradition to GITMO for human trafficking operations. Monday, 15th of December 2025, VIP arrests commence in Europe, targeting globalist leaders in Brussels and London for financial fraud exposures. Deep state traitors funnel into expanded GITMO wings for military tribunals, exposing Adrenochrome and trafficking rings, with 2,900 confirmed executions across 71 nations. VIP arrests commence in Europe, targeting globalist leaders in Brussels and London for financial fraud exposures. Mid-December 2025, child trafficking networks collapse under undeclared military victories, with raids in Romania and Honduras yielding 8 million rescues and demolition of underground Adrenochrome labs. Saturday, 20th of December, White Hats trigger EBS and 10 days of darkness, broadcasting confessions and documents via Starlink. January the 1st, 2026. Medbed hospitals launch worldwide, transferring vacant military bases into healing facilities for cancer, paralysis, and COVID-19 aftermath. Onic Care portable medbeds will distribute scalar energy for instant rejuvenation, erasing decades of big pharma suppression and regenerating DNA for vaccine-injured populations in first wave deployments. Big farms collapse, so the big pharmacies are going to collapse. Saturday, 31st of January, 2026, White Hats intervene in military funding battles, averting Satanic escalations. VIP arrests escalate exponentially from July the 25th operations, targeting Rothschild envoys, BlackRock analysts, and NATO chiefs for organ trafficking and population control. In February 2025, the Great Awakening triggers with mass EBS broadcasts of suppressed tech and crimes against humanity. By February 26, Adrenochrome harvesting farms in West Africa connect to pharmaceutical executives under arrest from intel gathered in Vatican tunnel raids. Told you about the Templars going in the Vatican? There's tunnels all over the world. Believe. 14th of February 26, COVID-19. Bioweapon variants reveal the genetic manipulation tools during EBS. Suppressed origin documents released from CIA facilities and vaccine depopulation agencies. Agendas exposed. So vaccine depopulation agendas exposed. Thursday, 23rd July 2026. The storm will conclude with the full Cabal dismantled. White Hats continue to execute precision strikes on remaining tunnels. 23rd of July 26. Worldwide military operations in 71 nations, neutralising Project Eidolon's AI control grid over vaccinated populations. Mid-2026, Gezra enforced global wealth redistribution redistribution, got to get that word right. Anyway, redistributed. God, can't get it right. Wiping out the national block there somewhere. Wiping out the national debt and distributing $2,000. Distributing $2,000 directly to Americans. Yep, they can know that. What we think we know as of Tuesday, 18th of November, my birthday. Okay, that's what we know. Now, Monday the 17th, Tampa, Florida, Attorney General James Giuliani joins US Marshal Berger to announce the largest child rescue mission in Florida history. 122 children found and rescued. 17th November, Epstein victims Virginia Graff and Anne Hack recorded before their recent deaths that Obama raping young boys. Adam Schiff silenced Anthony Bourdain. Bill Clinton was Epstein's most prolific pedophile, plus named other global elite pedophiles. Jeffrey, Virginia, claimed Trump played no part in the Epstein child sex trafficking saga. A CIA manual called How to Be a Bad Bureaucrat and Subvert in institution from within. He's instructing CIA agents and 7,000 employees of HH's department on how to subvert Trump and his Make Australia Great Again movement. Cully means says the make Cully means wow means says the Make America Healthy Again movement is being sabotaged by bureaucrats inside HHS. Same shit's happening here in all the Western countries. A CIA manual is being sent to all employees. They're sending around this CIA manual called How to Be a Bad Bureaucrat and Subvert an Institution from Within. They said 90% of employees at HHS, 70,000 employees, so 90% of them, so it'd be about 60,000 employees are working and talking in the lunchroom about this manual and telling each other that their job is to save America, save science from the agenda of President Trump and RFK. It's a nightmare. Department of Health and Human Services. $1 trillion American taxpayer dollars was stolen during the pandemic, and 70% of that money went overseas to no one knows where. The extent of this government corruption is endless. Charlie Ward. 14th of November 2025 exposed. The real story of Vatican secrets, delving in the mysteries of the Vatican's secret archives, evil secrets that the Church kept hidden for your protection. Far out. Monday, November the 18th. Tuesday in Australia. 2025, head of the EBA, Led Zeldin, confirms American skies are being sprayed with toxic chemicals, and it's not only a health concern, it's destroying the environment. Mother Gear. Medbed has a function very few have ever seen, clearing the subconscious from trauma and programming. When a person enters the capsules, the device doesn't only work on the cells, it works on the electromagnetic patterns of the brain. All traumas, fears and blockages stored deep in the subconscious are recognised as corrupted code. They are then reset and replaced with the original signal of health and harmony. The effect is like being born again without the weight of the past. Patients described a feeling of silence in the mind and a freedom they had never experienced before. Monday, 17th of November, breaking alert. Active deep state killed teams, targets. Trump's inner circle as leaked elimination orders forced top officials into military bases. The US debt clock. Around Washington DC, nothing is routine anymore. Trump's highest-ranking officials have been moved into fortified military installations because confirmed assassination teams are operating on the ground. These units are not amateurs. They are remnants of former intelligence branches that resurfaced after the collapse of the old administration. When Charlie Kirk was taken out in September, it was not random violence. It was the first open strike of a new phase. Since that moment, the target shifted toward the people, constructing the restoration plan. Hegseth, Rubio, Naim, Driscoll and Pelham all have now been relocated under direct military control after verified surveillance attempts, tempered entry points and warning operations consistent with foreign-style intimidation tactics. Hold on, I don't sugarcoat anything. You just need to know the truth. The truth, the light of the truth. Inside the system, the classification was already changed to what authorities call strategic threat reduction, a level assigned only when national actors are marked for physical removal. The kill teams operate through front companies embedded in tech and logistics hubs and in blue districts, rotating assignments every few days, often travelling under NGA credentials. Most leave no official record behind. Some are former special agents with access to dormant government systems. At least 5 assassination attempts were blocked in the past 90 days, each one structured with layered support and long-term planning. These are not chaotic street attacks. They are coordinated missions designed to move individuals critical to the transition. While legacy media suppresses everything under old directives, Trump's team has rerouted all communications to isolated fibres, air-gap devices and in-person courier systems. Financial structures tied to the globalist institution are collapsing at the same time, accelerating the push for eliminations as old power centres attempt to hide assets and erase trails before the switching systems becomes irreversible. The remaining forces are now focused on eliminating those who oversee QFS implementation, legal audits, recovery channels, and classified infrastructure operations. Their objective is simple: delay, sabotage, and force Trump's alliance in a defensive posture while foreign partners attempt to regroup. This was never going to be resolved through elections because it was all rigged and corrupt. All right? Never going to be resolved through elections. These networks never operated within legal limits. They built international kill structures inside government programs and still control certain sleeper channels inside American cities. This is why the bases are full, why movement is restricted, why communication is shielded. The people being hunted are not corrupt elites or political puppets. They are the ones rebuilding the system, recovering stolen wealth, exposing underground networks, and preparing tribunals. They are the ones changing the entire order. That is why they are being targeted. The rest of the country only sees the silence. The real battle is happening out of sight inside the secured corridors where this transformation is being protected day and night. Okay, Monday, November the 17th. Again, 17th of November 2025, US Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph B. Edlow announces widespread immigration fraud of Somalia immigrants in Manipulalis. manipulators. Oh well, another word that a bit weird. Okay, fraud was found in nearly 50% of all cases. Blunt marriage fraud, like Rep. Ellen Amor. Visa overstays, forged documents, H-1B visa abuse and fraud, F-1 visas abuse and fraud, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, many discrepancies, officers identified as an alien who had overstayed his visa waiver, who was the son of a known or suspected terrorist on the no-fly list. We found troubling patterns with the Uniting for Ukraine program that should have raised serious concerns under other administrations, such as an individual filing to sponsor more than 100 aliens and organisations sponsoring hundreds. We are continuing to investigate these cases. Multiple illegal immigrants in marriage fraud cases were found to have multiple wives in multiple countries, like Australia. Blasphemy. In another, an individual admitted to obtaining a fake death certificate in Kenya for just $100 to prove he was no longer married. In reality, his wife is alive living here in Minneapolis. Why can't I say that word before? Minneapolis. Sorry about that before. And he's the mother of 5 of his children. And incidentally, he has another wife living in Sweden, whom he has an additional 3 children. Voter fraud. Okay, let's get into the voter fraud. Monday to 7. They want to start running and hiding. I'm telling you, they're not going to hide on Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia, Mother Nature. You know all about Mother Nature. They shall not hide. They can run, but they can't hide. And that's another saying. Okay, 2 minutes of surveillance footage I hope you'd never see. Conspiracy Day, Detroit. Emergency broadcast system. Wow. Roughly 7 hours after polls closed, security cameras capture something wild. A city-registered minivan pulls up, and out step Jocelyn Benson and Dina Nissel, unloading boxes labelled for CCP Bidens. Gretchen Whitebag is behind the wheel. At 3:53 a.m, Whitmar leaves the building. At 4:30 a.m, she comes back, and Benson and Nessel haul in another round of those same boxes. Then look at the numbers they don't want you thinking about. 2020 turnout, 155,508,985. The 2024 turnout, 140,306,875. Mail-in ballots flipped the country, and Bar and Wire looked the other way instead of blowing the whistle. And so I'm saying, all these whistleblowers, come forward. Come forward, and you do your job how I do my job. The Prince sits here and reaches out. It's all in black and white, and no reason for me to lie. This is the light of truth and the truth of light. Okay, so Monday, November the 25th, billionaire real estate tycoon Rick Caruso is using his platform to raise awareness. The Pacific Palisades fire happened because of a cover-up in Los Angeles by Democrats' emergency broadcast channel. Governor Newsom and Karen Bass need to be held criminally accountable. I hope more people start talking about the cover-up on the fire in the Palisades. HW shows his newspaper in the LA Times yesterday's edition. There it is, headline, Fire Cues, Palisades Concerns Hidden. What the article talks about is the firefighters were concerned about leaving the original blaze that was put out on January the 2nd because they knew it wasn't completely out, and they told their superiors they shouldn't leave the site on January the 2nd. But they were ordered to go back to the station against the recommendation of the firefighters who were actually there and felt the ground, felt the roots, and they were still hot. Increasingly, it was never reported in the action after the action report issued by the city. And it seems like a cover-up. Okay, there you go. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen out there. Just make sure I got all this because I know it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. But you just, go with the flow. Wrap your head. Most of you know out there now that there is something sinister happening. There is something very sinister happening because it's all coming to light. You can only cover it up for so long. Once you put something under that mat, people start tripping over the mat, and then they lift up the mat and they go, holy shit, look what's happened. Look what is happening. And you know, through corruption, but it's such evil and dark and black corruption by hideous creatures. I wouldn't even call them human beings because human beings don't simply do this, you know. And Adrenochrome out of young kids. And these children, most of the children they found in the tunnels, most of them are deceased. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I can't even find a word for it, really. I only use the word terrible because it puts a terror in people, doesn't it? That's why they fear and stuff like that. Now, I used the chariot before because the chariot signifies forward movement, progress through determined action. It embodies control, willpower, and direction, symbolising departure towards a goal with courage and integration of opposing forces. Okay, and then I used the strength card. Did I not? Bear with me. I'll just find this strength card. Yeah, as I said, tame the lion. Means strength represents the fusion of courage and compassion, signifies inner strength and subtle power, focusing on influence and persuasion. This card embodies the balance of passion with focus, reflecting resilience and emotional control. Okie dokie. Now we'll go with the age oracle. Well, apology on my pronunciation, but hopefully it all got through. Hopefully that message communicated and flowed well with my followers, supporters, and loyalists. Loyalists already know what's going on. I mean, noble knights know what's going on. They're just waiting in the wings, ready to pounce. We're all just waiting out here, ready to pounce. Not going to get away. These dark, insidious peoples will not get away with it any longer. And it's about bloody time, as I said before. It's about bloody time. We go after the darkness. Honouring your true feelings. And on the top here, new opportunities all the time, okay? New opportunities. I'm going to go into these cards here now. As I said, there's your chariot and your strength. Cast out all the evil darkness spirits. Banish them. And we draw in, as I say, our ancestors. And this wouldn't even be happening now without our ancestors ancestors' spirits flowing into us. Okay? And that pushes you and propels you forward. And the archangels, that upstairs, as I said, as God is my strength. And give me strength. And he has. And this is why I sit in front of you now. Everything happens for a reason, for meaning and a purpose. And you all know my purpose why I sit here now. To help and assist you guys out there. And if you didn't need it, let's face it, I'd still would have no idea. Okay? I've been awoken for a purpose. You guys are going to be awoken to do your bit, your jobs. As I say, you go with the flow, you wake up, you go, shit. I don't know, maybe you've got to say, well, I've got to find the Prince Todd and tell him what my job is. You might be my Royal Scriber. You wake up and boom, Royal Scriber. You're an officer with synergy. And keep looking after those and looking out for those synchronicities. Well, synchronicities. You just knew that was going to come out, didn't you? Okay, the next one will be the Hangman. There's a lot of shit's going to happen through their greed and satanic rituals. Stupid bastards. Stupid, ignorant, arrogant bastards. They're going to pay the ultimate price. It's unfortunate. That's what happens. Okay. Justice. Talking about justice, reading about horrific, terrific shit. But we shall have our justice. Chariot, you know about the Chariot. The Chariot's a yes. The Hangman, I think, is a no. Let's delve into the Nine of Swords. It's in Gemini. But you got strength, compassion, completion, optimism, and suffering. There's a lot of suffering. I don't have to go into more detail about that suffering with those innocent children. Okay, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, despair. No more. No more. That card's gone. Because we're having justice now. Justice, Chariot. Okay, it's a yes card. They're all yes cards. That horrible card over there with suffering and the anxiety and all that shit, you've cast it out now. You've cast that down and you've been refreshed. Okay? These are all refreshed out there now. Freshness. Okay? Those bad apples, getting out of the basket. We're throwing those bad apples out of the baskets, keeping all the goodness. Okay? And we're all banding together now because we are many, legion. So we go into happiness, joy, joyfulness, and celebrations. Celebrations. And what's happening? Yeah, it's hideous. Hideous, hideous, hideous. So we got that. I don't think I read. And it's a one card too, which is wholeness, isn't it? Oneness. Abundance, manifestations coming true. Opportunities coming true. New career or financial opportunities, new venture, prosperity. And that's why we take the money off these elites and put it in amongst the citizens again, doing infrastructure. Get the show on the right road, you know. You're building your roads and all that shit. It's just so much money that is unaccounted for and we don't even know where it's gone. That's the bad side of it, you know. And the Chariot. Okay. I've said all I wanted to say today. I know a lot of it's bad and I apologise for that, but it's not your fault out there, guys, because we've seen a lot of death. We've seen a lot of death, but these elections and everything, it is not your fault because it's out of your hands. These deep, dark criminals, gangsters, evil bastards that are running the show have done all this and you've had no say. You thought you did, but you haven't. Everything's been rigged. Everything's been rigged. And that's the deception of lies and all the other smoke and mirrors and all that bullshit. But there's no need to worry now because we're having justice. Big, big love and big, big hugs out there because trust me, there's going to be big, big, big changes because we're capable of making big, 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 big things happen. Okay, so sit tight. As I said, it's a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Hold tight, sit tight, and go with the flow. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Take care, all brothers and sisters out there, and stay safe, brothers and sisters out there. And keep doing what you guys are doing because I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. And don't hold back. Okay? Don't hold back. Go with the flow. Take care. God bless one and each and every one of us out here. And there. It's not a question of when. It's happening now. It's a happening thing. Channel 4. 3 was the Holy Trinity, and we go to Channel 4, transmitting and receiving. I am ready to receive. And we say bye for now. Thumbs up.